Let's go like this. Oops. Let's see. Let's go like this. Okay, here we go. Good morning. Someone's here. Whoever's here, hello. Good morning. And it's been a while, but it's time to do a little morning practice. Hey, Katya, it's you. Good morning. So, I'm going to light a candle. We'll do Palo Santo today. Thanks for bearing with me. If you've got a little Palo Santo or smudge or something, you can just do a little bit for yourself. Just going through the center axis can be really nice. Clearing the space a little bit. And let's begin. So we'll start in a seat. There we go. So go ahead and come to your seat and just take a moment, palms together, eyes closed, 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out the mouth. As you come to the end of that last exhale, let the breath out completely. Come to your natural rhythm of breath. Tuning into the quality of awareness, of energy that's with you right now. And welcome yourself to this practice, this precious time in your day to commune with yourself, to commune with your sense of something bigger than yourself. And welcome yourself to your day. How might this practice support you in facing with grace, with gratitude, what lies ahead today? If you're here live right now, or at the start of your week, there's always something beginning. So whatever is beginning for you right now, you can honor that with your intention. And if there's anything that's closing for you right now beyond maybe what you might be carrying from the day before, can you honor that as well? surrendering into the flow, the natural rhythm of life, which includes and requires closing, destruction, letting go. We'll just offer a mantra to start the Ganesha mantra. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamastravastranam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Ana Shrinvanutipi Siddhasaranam Om Gangarapataye Namaha Om Gangarapataye Namaha Om Gangarapataye Namaha Hari Om. Letting your hands release. You can open your eyes when you're ready. You can take your arms up overhead and really see the fingers. Just get one nice long morning stretch. And maybe sit down. Good. So we're going to come to stand. And I've been incorporating, I'm going to change this just a little bit. I've been incorporating a bit of Qigong. So this is like, probably not perfect, but it feels really good to me. And that's what I've been doing lately. So that's what we're going to do this morning. So just come to stand. You can take your feet a little bit wide. And if normally I'm doing this outside in the grass, if you're able to take this practice outside, I would highly recommend it. Get your feet in the earth, but we'll try it here. You need to have a bit of space, actually, I'm realizing. So a little bend through the knees, just letting the sacrum lengthen down and let the back of your head lengthen up. So feel your spine get really long. Let your arms just rest by your sides. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Soften your jaw and your tongue. And then start to really send this impulse downwards into the earth. And you can take a little bounce through your knees. Really letting the rest of the body just go. And just shaking. You can have your eyes closed or open as you wish. Keep your attention inside. And it can also help to take some deep breaths in and out as you bounce. And let your body jiggle. And so feel the soft parts of the body receiving, releasing. No need to hold yourself here, but to really feel the earth energy helping to drop away tension. And then slowly let that come to an end. Again, coming back to stillness, bend through the knees. energy descending and ascending. And then you can start to shift your weight, and you may take your feet a little bit wider. I like to take my feet a little bit wider, and starting to shift your weight from one leg to the other. Whoops. And this is where you need some space. And as you shift your weight, the arms are just going around side to side, flying. And I'm sure anyone who's like a Qigong expert, I'm sure there's a lot more to it. So again, this is just something that's kind of new to me. And I'm just happy to share with you so you can find your flow. Eyes can be closed or open softly. And again, especially the lower body, so from the hips, thighs, all the way down to your feet. Strong rooting right here, getting a little more sense of fluidity. The arms have that air quality flying through space. And then you can start to turn and look behind you. It's changing a little bit where you feel the twist. And then bringing your hands up towards your shoulders as you twist. Hands are relaxed. And slowly bring it back. And so one way to kind of know if you've really gotten yourself into the flow is if the body sort of slowly comes back instead of just abruptly up, twist still. Yeah. And just come back to stand again for a moment in that relaxed pose. Maybe I'll stand to the side just so that you can see it's a little bit different than maybe how we often stand in Tadasana. So that there's really a generous, I could probably no more of a bend through the knees, and the sacrum is lengthening down. If you bring your hand to your sacrum, you can just help that lengthening down, back of the head lengthening up. See how it feels. And then start to bring a bounce to your knees, and as the knees bounce, the hands are going to come up and back. And so you're just swinging, let's see, swinging your arms. So let's go here. No. There we go. This one is a little bit harder for me. So coming down, arms go back, straightening legs, arms come up. And really letting your arms just fly here as well. Part of the invitation in a practice like this, especially if you're really new to it like me, is just noticing, like just becoming aware of the sensation for sure, and where your weight goes. Just noticing, like, what are your patterns? So it's wonderful to have practices where you feel a sense of mastery. Yeah. Like maybe for most of us here, it's like a sun salutation. Yeah, we just know it. Our bodies know it. And also to have practices that are really challenging, even if they're super simple, especially if they're super simple. And then start to turn your hands so that when your hands come up, they face forward. Tune into your breath. If the mind wanders, just bring it back to this experience. And slowly release that. And so you can see, if you're looking at my arms, just kind of naturally come to this end. Yeah. Of swinging. All right. So coming back to stand again. Maybe closing your eyes, just checking in with your awareness, noticing if there's any difference from when you first checked in. And then take your feet wide, a little bit wider here. And there's a few more practices that I recently learned, but we'll just skip those and maybe next time bring them in. So here, we're gonna bring our hands behind to the sacrum, palms on your sacrum, fingers face down, big bend through your knees, and then some really generous circles. So just coming around yourself, and here again, feeling into the connection to the ground. I really like to notice how the weight moves on my feet, and to try to get every part of my foot to connect through the movement. And then take it the other direction. Feeling into where it might be more difficult to circle around, where you might feel there's some stickiness in the joints. Come back to that quality of water. And come back to the center. Again, pausing, a little bit of space between the feet, softness through the knees. So each time, just finding for a breath or two this neutral stance. And then last little movement we'll do. Let's bring the hands together. We can rub our hands. It's already pretty warm though, isn't it? And bring your hands onto your knees. Just a few circles for your knees, one way. And then a few circles the other way. And take a moment, just come to sit low for a sec. We'll bring in something different for now. So that's the nice thing about a practice. You're coming into chair pose, right? Like it's your practice. Find how you want to move. Sit back low. And then as you start to lower down, you can reach your arms out in front and coming into a squat. If you need to lift your heels for now, just lift your heels. Place your armpits onto your knees. Just bring your hands to the earth. Let your head release, let your neck release. Breathe into the back body. And then grounding down through the heels, floating all the way back up. This time into your chair. Take your arms up alongside the ears. Stretch long through the sides of the body. Lengthen sacrum and back of the head away from one another. And then come back up. Pull your right knee in. Give yourself a good squeeze. You can roll your ankle one way and then the other way. Switch sides. Drawing in one way and then the other way. Good. Place your feet down. So feet are about hip width. One hand to the pubic bone, one hand to the sacrum. Go sideways so you can see. Bend through the knees and then drawing tailbone through. So tilting forward, up and back. And here you can feel into the rhythm, but also where there's a block or an obstruction to the rhythm. Just feeling that whole central axis, how it's affected. Going the other way, so I like to switch hands. Going the other way, now moving backwards. So pubic bone moving back, down, and up. Notice how your jaw is right now. A lot of connection between jaw and pelvis. Finding space between the teeth, a soft and relaxed tongue. And coming back to center. This time taking more of a classical Tadasana pose. So if you like to measure your feet, you can. Heel comes into big toe, palms face forward. Eyes can be closed or just very gently open. And even as the weight roots down through the legs, feel a sense of uplift, rising tall through the crown. Begin to find your Ujjayi breath. And letting the breath be the thread through this next flow. So moving from perhaps a sense of total beginner to a sense of total beginner with something that's quite familiar, sun salutations. Following the breath in, spread the arms out wide, reaching up. As you exhale, fold it forward, Uttanasana. Hands on blocks or something if you need, otherwise just releasing. Inhale, breath to lengthen. One more time, exhale, breath, fold in, bend your knees as much as you need to here to really feel the connection between your belly and your thighs. You can shake your head a bit. Inhale, find length in space. Exhale, step your right foot back. Keep the back knee lifted at first. You can be on your fingertips. You can shift as you need to. It's finding your high lunge. And step back dog. Take a moment in dog to move as you like. Plank pose, inhaling. Knees to the earth, lower all the way down, exhaling. Inhaling cobra. Exhaling downward facing dog. Looking forward on the inhale breath, exhale, steps the right foot through, back knee stays lifted. A good breath or two here, just feeling in. On the exhale, step it forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, fold hands to hips. Elbows to the sky. Inhale, lengthen, rising up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, arms up. Gaze up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot back, knee down this time. Maybe keep your back toes tucked if you need a little more support. Hands come to the front thigh, drawing belly away from thigh. Feel the grounding through your feet and the lengthening through the sides of the body as you lift up through the arms. Keep a sense of support through the root. Exhale, hands down to the earth, step back to dog. Inhale through plank pose. Exhale, knees can touch down or lower all the way to the earth. Forehead touches the ground. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, coming back, downward facing dog. Inhale, breath to bring your gaze forward. Exhale, scooping the belly. Step the left foot through, back knee down. Coming up and finding your space here. Finding the support that comes when you draw yourself into your center. And then the space that comes when the center expands. Breathing in all directions, front, sides, back, up, down. Exhaling, hands forward, step your back foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthening, hands on shins or fingertips to earth. Exhale, fold. Hands can come to your hips as you inhale, rise up, float the arms up, lengthen sternum away from belly button. Exhaling, hands to heart. So let's keep going. Inhale, float it up. Exhale, fold. Find your space with the inhale. Take your right foot back with your exhale, knee down. Floating up to a low lunge, maybe lengthen the back foot now. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to your mat or a little bit off. If you want a little more space in the front body, you can flip your wrist and take your left arm. Maybe make some big circles here as you are twisting towards your bent knee. And then if you like, finding a place of stillness here. You may also want to Tuck your back toes and lift your back leg. Exhale to bring the hands down. Put your back foot on the earth. Float up, warrior two. So nice bend through that front knee. Settling in. Finding reverse on the inhale. And finding side angle on the exhale. You can have your elbow to your knee or to the inside line. And maybe, again, this right arm wants to make some circles, or you want to play a bit with opening through the shoulder. Just take a moment. Find what is calling out in your body right now. And then exhale, bring the hand back down to the earth. Back heel lifts, step it back. Down dog split this time. Left leg reaching up, knee bends. Press your left foot over to the right side of your mat. And then shift forward towards a plank pose. Let your left hand lift up, foot to the earth, lower down slightly. And then you can press yourself up into wild thing. You might catch the back of your head and then release. As you're ready, bring yourself back through plank. Knees up or down, lower to the earth. Or come up through chaturanga and up dog. Coming back through downward facing dog. And your downward facing dog. Pick up your right foot and step it through. Back knee comes down, toes can lengthen, rise up, low lunge. Releasing your left hand to the earth. Remember, you can turn your palms back if you want a little more opening for the chest. You might turn the right toes a little bit out to the side. And then as you're reaching that arm back, the front heel, feel how it can root. And if you're like me and you're in a little bit of a tight space, you may have to adjust. So there's a tendency of the seat to kind of really open here, and we're gonna go for a little bit more of a wrapping and a grounding. And find a still place to be for a few breaths. You might lift up that back leg. And let the twist come all the way through. Really feel the ribs. Low ribs, left side. Moving in. Release. Hands to your mat. Finding your warrior two. And so even if you've been here hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of times, this warrior two, this Virabhadrasana, is a new one. So can you take all of the knowledge that you have, be with it, but also be with the sensation of now. What is here now? And is how you're holding yourself now, is that supporting the full flow, full freedom? As I say that, no, it's not. So adjust, take reverse. And then take your side angle. If nothing else, may this practice help us to be a little more clear with ourselves. To develop our facility for discernment, viveka. Such a nice word, viveka, discernment. On your exhale, bring the hands back down, step back, down dog split. Reaching the foot over to the left side of the mat. And here, noticing what happens with your shoulders, keeping the shoulder blades pressing on the back. Shifting forward, taking your, and I'm gonna have to shift it a little bit, your wild thing. And so when we move a little bit more slowly like this, have a little bit more time to really feel in. To adjust as needed. Come back around. Plank. One more little flow through here. You can pause in your plank pose. Really gather your resources. And then flow through on your breath. Coming back dog. Sweeping up dog. Take child's pose if you like. Take a sip of water if you like. Time check. Oh yeah, shoot. Okay. It's time to get the kids going to camp. But maybe before we do that, I'm trying to adjust my clothing. Before we do that, maybe one inversion. So it could be a handstand at your wall, it could be a headstand, could be just legs up in the air. So take your pick, set yourself up. Just wherever you are, feeling into the breath. And into that center line. Trying to make a slow dismount. Still working on the dismounts as always. Good. Come on to a seat. sit up on something if you need to. You can also just fold your mat. Sit with your right leg crossed over your left. Lengthen both sides of the body. Twist towards your right leg. Back hand is a support, but you should be able to lift up your fingers. Yeah, so that you're holding yourself up, not with your back arm. Look over your left shoulder. You can take a quick counter twist. And then switch sides. Left leg crosses over. Nice and spacious. Twisting. They have been playing with what it feels like to move the elbows away from one another in a twist. How that gives a little more space. Over the opposite shoulder with the gaze. And back to center. Taking a little counter stretch. And back to center. We just come to sit. Maybe feet together, knees apart. Baddha Konasana. So as always, there's so much more. Bring your hands behind you if you like, also for a little bit of support, just a little bounce here. And also life calls. What we do here, we know this. We do so that we can go back out into our days fortified and connected. And of course we do it because it feels great while we're doing it. Yeah. At least if it doesn't, if there's not some part of you, some big part of you that's saying yes to your practice, then it's something to change. It's something to look at and to note. Find the joy in it and find what gives you the joy. For me lately, it's been some of this Qigong work. As if on cue, here comes the trash, the garbage truck. So, sound of that in the background, just let your eyes close. Tune in with yourself and notice, for you, is there anything you're carrying you need to throw out? Once you've released what needs to be let go of, what you don't need today, come back to what is here. Let's just take 3 short rounds, simple rounds. Let's say simple rounds of Nadi Shodhana. You can bring your fingers into Vishnu Mudra. Thumb to the right nostril, ring finger to the left. Breathe in and out both nostrils and begin with your inhale on the left side. the last exhale out your left nostril, finish the nice shoulder. Now let your hands rest. Notice the effect of that brief practice. And if you'd like to join me, we'll close with let's close with the Shanti Path mantra. If you're still here, Katya, maybe you can join in. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Sarvesham Svastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino Sarve Shantu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kashet Dukkha Bhave Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Best way to end practice is with a little cuddle with your dog or anybody. Hopefully you have someone around to cuddle today. And if you don't, go find someone. We need more hugs, don't we? We need more hugs. Okay, wish you a wonderful day. And thank you so much for whoever joined live. It's really fun to share with you again. And I'm not going to promise that I'll keep doing this. I don't know. I'm really taking things kind of one day, 1 week, one period at a time. And I hope you are too. I hope you have some space to do that. And see you sometime. Hey, Emma, I'm so glad you were here. That's wonderful. Good. Okay, bye.